right, welcome everybody to the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central Time. This is Vishan Borich, also known as the Tough Mama from Team Tough, and I'm glad you're here to join me. For those of you that have been on these Hangouts many times before, you know that the purpose that I have, or my intention for these Hangouts, is to, number one, inspire you, and number two is to provide great value so that you can become better in business and in life. So today I'm going to be focusing on blogging, specifically the truth about blogging. I think there's a lot of buzz around the whole world of blogging, and I've had a lot of questions, especially lately, on why I blog, how I do it, is it profitable and things like that. And so I wanted to just put it all out there, give you the truth via this platform here, and that's our Hangout that we do every Monday, and help you so that you can decide if you want to start a blog, or perhaps you already are a blogger, I should say, and want to get more people to see your blog. And maybe you just want to know if you're on the right path, if you're doing the right things, and you might potentially have a profitable blog that you could turn into a real business or grow an existing business. So that's what we're going to be discussing today. I hope you're excited. Be sure to go ahead and log in down below. You'll see there's a chat window. You can log in there, just say hello, and if you have any questions or anything like that along the way as I give today's presentation, please post them down there, and I will answer them. I usually do it right at the end, so if you want to hang out just a few minutes afterwards, I'll answer those questions. It's hard for me to do both at the same time, so don't expect an answer immediately while I'm in presentation mode, okay? All right, let's get started. Once again, I put together a presentation, so I will be flipping my screen around here so that you can see what I've got going on. Just a minute here. All right. So you all should be able to see my screen right now, and what I have is the first slide, and that is the truth about blogging. Okay, so let's get started. So here is a brief overview as to what I'm going to be covering today. These are the most popular questions that I get asked on a regular basis. So the first one is, why do I blog? The second one, does it make me any money? The third, how do I start one and find great topic ideas? The fourth one, what blogging platform do you recommend? And then finally, how do I get more people to see my post on my blog? So I'm going to be answering all of those today, and hopefully leaving you today with a lot more empowerment so that you can be a successful blogger if that's something that you choose to do. And also just some tips that I've learned over the years on how to be better at blogging. So let's continue. All right, so in answer to the first question, why do I blog? I've gotten that quite a bit. Why do I do this? There's so many things that I've been involved in my life, and I think a lot of times they ask me this because they don't even understand who's asking me. They don't understand how I have time to do it. And so they want to know, what's the purpose and why do I even make time to blog? And before I even answer this question, for those of you who are really, really new and you maybe you don't even know what a blog is, I actually have had quite a few people who they actually don't even know what a blog is. So I just want to share, a blog is, think of it like a log or a diary or a journal. So a blog is an online journal, if you must. Now, it doesn't have to be the written word, although that is the most common. A blog can actually be all video. It could be all photos. It could be kind of a combination of photos, video, or text. And there actually are blogs that are audio as well. So you don't have to believe that you have to be this great writer and spend a ton of time with it in order to be a blogger. A person who blogs is called a blogger. In fact, video blogs are sometimes called vlogs, and that's vlog with a V, as in Victor, so as in video blog. So if you want to just do video, then that's entirely possible. A blog can really be whatever it is that you want to make it. So back to the original question, why do I blog? Well, here's one reason. It's a way to share my passions with the world. Let's think about this a second. The internet is a huge place. I don't believe that a lot of people really understand how broad of an audience you can reach with the internet. If you're one of those who don't really get it, try posting a picture on Facebook or social media and asking people to share it sometime. And then you'll see just how many people share that picture. It can be mind-blowing. In a matter of days, it could literally reach thousands, if not millions of people. That's incredible. That's the equivalent of, it's more than the equivalent of standing right in the middle of the largest football stadium and making an announcement and everybody seeing it. So, the reason that I love the internet and I love blogs so much is it's a wonderful way for me to get a message out to the world. And if you're really passionate about something, and every one of us has certain talents and passions that we're born with, we may or may not have expressed those passions to date, but whatever it is that you're built with, those passions have the capability to help someone in some way. So if you believe that, like I do, then you really have to have a way to get those out there to the world. You can't just keep them to yourself, and you can't just go stand on your street corner and share your passions, but you can blog about it. And what happens is you're going to find more people who are interested in those same passions, and now you're a champion to those people. You're someone they want to follow. You're someone they want to get to know. And potentially, if you're a business owner, this can really set you ahead of the game. We're going to go deep on that in a little bit, but let me tell you the second reason that I blog. You can also make full or part-time income from home by blogging. It doesn't have to be from home. It literally can be from anywhere. There are people that are part of the same business that I'm in who literally travel the world with just their laptop and make a living doing that. Okay, it blows your mind when you realize it, but that is how they live, and they make probably more than most people. I mean, some of these people, and obviously I can't guarantee income results for you if you're somebody that's interested in blogging for profit, but some of these folks make upwards of $10,000 a month blogging. Okay, crazy, right? That's more than a lot of people in the entire world. I mean, I don't even know the percentage, but that's that's up there. That's definitely higher than most people's family income. So what I want to say is that it can be a very profitable thing for you, even if you have a business and you have no intention of traveling the world with a laptop. If you have a brick and mortar business, a blog can help you to make money for that business. And we're going to show you how you can do that as well. And the third way, or the third reason why I blog, is it's my hub. Now you're probably saying, well, what does that mean? So I want to share with you exactly what it means to have a hub, because to me, this is vital to a business in today's world. Gone are the days in which you can just have a brick and mortar business and really make a good income. Now, of course, there are some really large businesses out there who probably do, but it's becoming more and more rare for a business to not have an online presence. And if you don't, then what's happening is those of your competitors that do are gobbling up your market share. Okay. So a hub, here's my example. I used to use the wagon wheel as my hub example, and I thought, how many people have actually seen a wagon wheel in these days? So I've changed that to a bicycle tire. Most people have seen a bicycle wheel. And so think of the hub as the center of that bicycle wheel. That's where the axle goes in. Okay, and then the spokes are all of the other things that you do in your life. So each one of those spokes could represent a social media site. It could represent your brick and mortar business. It could represent, it could represent like if you have a TV show or a radio show or a podcast or a website. So each one of those spokes represents something else, but the central point of my business personally is my blog. We're going to talk about why that is and why that's important next here. Okay, so with your hub, so let's assume that you want to build a hub like I've done. The reason it's so important to me is that my blog is a place for people to really get to know me on a more personal level. I'm not always going to blog about technical things or business related topics. When my blog is kind of I will tell you, it's kind of a smorgasbord. In other words, I've kind of combined a lot of different things into the Team Tough blog, and I will show that to you here momentarily. But I like to keep it as personal as I can, because I want people to really get to know me. I want them to see I'm a real person, number one, and number two, the type of things that I share, it resonates with the people that read my blog. They are probably in the same business, or they are a mom like I am, or perhaps they're interested in going in the business for themselves, or maybe they're just interested in spreading their own business via social media. Or maybe they're a martial artist, because I'm also a martial artist, and so sometimes I throw in some stuff related to that. So my blog is how they really get to know me. And for those of you who have ever done any type of sales, you know the key to making sales is you have to not only know the person that's selling you, you have to like them too. And if you don't resonate with them, or you don't feel like you really know them very well, then you're probably not going to like them, because you don't trust them, right? And that's kind of the third part of it is trust. And I use my blog to help generate trust. And I don't knowingly really do that. I just share things that I think are interesting and others might find interesting. And a byproduct of that is that people start to know, like, and trust me. Okay, so it really is a great way to do that. The second thing that your hub should do is it should be a place for you to point your social media messages to. Okay, so let's say that you're talking about, I don't know, internet marketing, and you're sharing a specific tip on, how to do a Facebook ad, for example. Well, perhaps on Facebook, you type a few things, but then rather than fill up an entire post, a short little blurb on Facebook with a novel, why not just put a link there that says, for more about this topic, visit my blog? And so it gives you another resource that you can go to and actually be able to learn more about that topic. And so for me, that's a really important part of my hub. And not only that, I have lots of things in my blog and around my blog, so that those that are really interested in learning how to market their business online, they can get additional content off of my blog that will help them. It's also a central point. So my blog is where people can find all of my other areas that I am online. So for instance, I also have a YouTube channel where I do videos. I also have a website where I just post some different things that I do, and some links to different businesses that I own or am a part of. And so by having that blog, it kind of syncs everything together, and I kind of pass information back and forth to my blog and from my blog. Okay. The third thing that a hub does is it creates a bigger footprint with content. And what I mean by that is that in the internet world, it's so vast. I mean, there's so many websites out there. It's almost like you are a blade of grass on a football field, and you're asking somebody blindfolded to go and find you. Okay, it's really hard for them to find that single blade of grass, right? That's how big the website is. I mean, the internet is. So when you have a blog and you constantly are updating it with content, it's kind of like you're leaving breadcrumbs for people that are surfing the web to find you more easily. So going back to my analogy of the blindfolded person trying to find your blade of grass, So let's assume now that you've posted hundreds of blog posts on different topics related to whatever subject that you're writing. And that person who maybe they are searching for information on football, and you just happen to be a football expert, and you have all kinds of great things, everything from choosing the right football to the right gear to plays and everything else. Well, now they are able to find you because you have generated so much great content, and the search engines are helping promote that content. When they type into their Google search bar, football equipment, and that just happens to be your blog, they're going to be able to find you more easily. So I want to kind of go a little deeper on this, because I think this is where a lot of business people get it wrong. And that is, they think that a blog is just something for people to write their diary, and it's very impersonal, and it's not it's personal, it's not anything business related, and they don't see how it fits in with their business. But the truth is, and this is where the rubber meets the road for the pros and the amateurs, is that a blog is liked very much by search engines. It's like blogs are liked more than websites. And I want to explain that. So Google itself, which is the largest search engine, and everybody has used it pretty much that I know. I mean, that's what we use. It's a great search engine. Google ranks people's content based on how frequently it's updated and how often that it meets the keywords that people are typing into the Google string. Okay, so let's say that you have a website. Let's go back to my football example, since it is that time of year. So let's say that you just have a website that's static. In other words, you haven't updated it in a while. You posted some things about football, maybe the best gear, et cetera, and that was it. You had it created and it's done, and you haven't added anything to it in like a year. Okay, now let's say that a competitor of yours has a website with a blog, and in their blog they update it once a week with the latest and greatest information about football. Maybe they have information on cleats one day, or maybe they have information on how different teams are doing, or maybe there's some new gear that's come out that's made uniforms even better. So they're constantly updating new content. So let's say that somebody searches now for football cleats, and both sites have that same information on it. Whose site do you think is going to come up first? Well, it's going to be the one that's the blogger, because their content is being updated more frequently. And so Google likes that. They see it as fresh content. They see that they are constantly updating. So that tells them that it's an active website. It's not a dead site that hasn't been updated in a year or more. And so it's going to get a little more Google juice, as we call it, because it's being updated. Is this all clicking for you? Well, I hope so, because when I first learned this, I'm like, aha, now I know why I've got a blog. Because I used to just create websites and then I would just let them lie. I thought, well, that's it. You got a brochure out there. Your website, I kind of thought of it as a brochure, and people will find me. Well, they never would. And then plus, I wasn't rising in rank at all in Google. So I learned very quickly that blogging is a tremendous way to drive more people to my business and to my site. Even a website that has a blog incorporated into it is better than just a straight website that's infrequently updated. Okay, so that's more about the hub. All right, the fourth thing is it helps you to build a brand. A brand is kind of your trademark. It's who you are. It's what sets you apart from your competition. And when you have a blog, it's going to have your own personality wrapped into that. And that's so important, because you don't want to attract everybody to you or your business. You only want to attract those people that really resonate with you. Okay, and we've talked about this on other Hangouts, but to me, my blog, it's got personality. I mean, I'm this tough mama. I've got, you can see my logo here on the slides. And so it really goes around that brand of, for me, it's somebody, it's an empowered woman. It can be a guy too, but I really, hit women. It's women that believe that they can make a difference. And that's really my brand. And I focus on that in my blog. My hub reinforces that brand every day. Okay. And then finally, your hub should help you to sell products and services. By having your hub there, you're going to write some great content, or you're going to post great content. It could be video or whatever. But around that, you have the capability to have ads. You have the capability to have links to, maybe you do coaching. Maybe you have different products that you sell. You could have links that people could go out there and purchase those things right off of your website. So they come to you for the content, and then they like you because of your brand, and then they want to buy your products and services because they know, like, and trust you. So I hope this is all connecting. Your dots are just firing right now, because you are realizing that blog that you're building, or that you're contemplating building, can be a very tremendous part of your business and your life, for growing your life and your business into something that's profitable. And it can also be a lot of fun too. I really do enjoy blogging. Okay, so I've gone deep here. Let's move on. So here's the other big question. Does it make any money? Okay, this is kind of a trick question, because I think everybody thinks the second they have a blog, especially if you're brand new to blogging, that they're going to start making money like right away. All right, so here's the answer. Maybe. Maybe it makes you money, maybe it doesn't. I will tell you, mine does. Mine does make me money, okay? It makes me quite a lot, actually. And obviously, income results are not guaranteed, but it can make you money. But you have to know a few things in order for it to make you money. Don't just think because you build it, they will come. This isn't the field of dreams just by making a blog. Your blog has to have certain aspects to it in order for it to make you money and to make you a living. So let me give you some of those next. So why does it not make you money? Let's start there. Well, first of all, blogging takes time. And if you don't have time to add content to it, then it's not going to make you money. I think a lot of people come into a business and they think, especially with blogging, they think they can put a few posts out there, and they think that's enough, and the people are going to start coming to their blog and buying the things that are listed around their blog. That's not the case. Typically, it takes at least, somebody told me this, it takes at least 100 blog posts before you start building an audience. Now, that's an average. Obviously, some people will do it quicker. Some may take even longer than that. So it does take some time to do that. The second thing that you have to have in order for it to make money is you must have good content. And good content is content that provides value or gives a solution to somebody's problem. Okay? And we're going to talk a little bit about finding good content here in a little bit. Okay, the other thing, you have to syndicate your content regularly. Now, syndicate is kind of a big word. Some people don't really understand what that means. Syndicate means to get eyeballs onto your blog or onto your single post. So to syndicate means you've got to promote your blog site. And I'm going to tell you some ways that I promote my own blog and how that could help you as well. All right, and then finally, in order for it to make you money, I know this is probably not really that, it's not an aha moment. This is something you should know, and it must have something to sell on your blog. The content itself doesn't typically make you money, unless, of course, you get picked up by somebody who's willing to pay for you to write for them, which is a possibility. If you are an excellent writer, or maybe you're excellent at producing video, or maybe you're excellent at photography and you've got some incredible photos that you post to your blog, there is a possibility that one of the bigger blog sites that are out there that pay for writers might want to pay you. But again, you have to have that good content. And you must have some kind of a way for them to contact you on your blog so that those bigger guys and gals can actually hire you to write for them. So again, that's having something to sell. But not only do you need something to sell, it has to be something that people want. Okay, it's one thing to have all kinds of things for people to buy on your site, be it products or services, but if they don't want it, if it doesn't solve a purpose or fulfill a need, then you're not going to make any money. So this kind of comes back to, okay, well, how do I do this? So we're going to keep going here. So I know that a lot of people ask, first of all, how do I get started? How do I get a blog going? And how do I make it so that it's a good enough blog so that I can make money? Well, before I can even dive into that, you need to understand platforms, because in order to create a blog, you really need to have a good, solid blogging platform. There's a lot of them out there. The most popular is probably WordPress. I know a lot of people use that. I'm going to tell you right now, I've had blogs on a number of different platforms. I've been blogging, boy, I don't know. I've been blogging almost 10 years on different platforms. And I can tell you that I recommend a platform that you actually pay for. And here are just a few of them that you don't pay for, and that's WordPress, Blogger.com, or there's other freebies out there too. A lot of websites come with built-in blogging software, and I can tell you that those freebie platforms, although many are popular, such as WordPress, they are not stable enough for me. And I'll tell you why. When you have a freebie website, if you reach a certain threshold of people that are coming to your blog post, and it depends on the platform, but let's say you've reached like 5,000 people that come to your WordPress blog, there is a possibility that because you're on a free site, that they start slowing down your site from loading. Okay, they can even shut you down if you're getting so much traffic to your blog that it's slowing down their entire network. That those freebie sites, they do have the capability to completely shut you down. Okay, now it's not super common, but I don't want to have a blog site hosted on a freebie site where I have the potential of losing all my hard work. To me, that would be really sad to do that. You spend so much time building something up only to realize that somebody else holds the keys to your business and can completely shut you down on a whim. Or maybe you get flagged or something like that and you get shut down. So for me, I have migrated most of my blogs onto a paid platform. Now, again, there are a number of paid platforms, but I wanted something stable that I knew would be scalable. So as I grew, as I got more and more followers, that I was going to have a platform that could support that and would still be speedy and load fast, and that I could put advertising around without worry. So there's a lot of things that I took into consideration. And I'll tell you, the one that I recommend is Kalatu Premium. Now, some of you may have not heard of that one. This is a platform that it actually uses WordPress backend, as far as they have a lot of the same things that control it that if you use WordPress you'd be very familiar with. However, it's a paid site. You pay a monthly fee for it, and you have full controls onto the site. So you don't have to worry. I mean, as long as you're making your monthly premium, you don't have to worry about it getting shut down or having a bunch of issues with load speed and things like that. So that's what I recommend for those of you that don't have a blogging platform. I mean, there's a lot of other reasons I recommend it. It also has built-in SEO, which is search engine optimization. So it can really help your blog posts to get seen. And it has built-in commenting and things like that I think is really important to get community involvement. So I won't go on and on, but if you are interested and you're looking for something good, then you can see below this hangout there are two buttons. One of them says Join Team Tough. If you click on that, you actually would get Kalatu, the basic version, which is still paid, you would get access to that. And I will be showing you my own site so you can kind of get an idea as to what I have. And there are built-in templates too for different blog sites. So you don't have to be, if you're using Kolatu, you do not have to be an expert in laying out a template or even finding templates, because a lot of like WordPress templates you have to buy, whereas Kolatu already has all the templates that you could ever want available to you. Okay, all right, so I'm going to flip over. This was my note to remember to flip this over to my blog, so give me a second here. All right, so hopefully you can still see my screen. Right now, I am on my blog. My blog is called the Tough Mama Blog, and it's just toughmamablog.com. And Tough, for those of you that don't really know me very well, Tough actually is an acronym. It stands for Tough, Unstoppable, Fearless, and Free, which are qualities that I believe every person must have in order to achieve the life of their dreams. And so I wrote a blog post on it actually, so you can look that up. So this is like my homepage for my blog. And if you are looking for a blog platform, you can come up here where it says my 21-day blogging challenge. And if you click on take the challenge, it will take you to a page that looks like this. And you can actually get access to information and actually download or buy the Kolatu product so that you can begin blogging today. And it'll walk you through. It even has built-in training modules so that you can begin learning how to blog, and you'll even get more best practices than I'm giving you today. Okay, all right, so this is example. So when you blog, I don't blog every day, but I will tell you in the beginning, I was blogging just about every day. There have been streaks in which I have blogged for 30 days straight. And then I've done different contests where we've done 21 days straight. And what I will tell you is when you first start blogging, you just want to get as much stuff out there as you can. Don't worry about topics, don't worry about trying to research what the best topics are to blog about. Your goal is to get as much content out there that's, there's pretty good stuff. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just starting, so that you get on the radar. And again, I see the threshold as being about, I would say about 100 blog posts before you start seeing traffic coming to your site from Google and things like that. I will tell you that I get on average at least 2 or 3 leads from my blog every day. Now, leads are email addresses. Like, people are coming to my blog and they are actually entering in a form. I'm going to go to one of them so you can see. So this is one I actually wrote this morning. This is Tough Love. It's something that I do on a frequent basis, is just a video, and down here is the video, and then I incorporate that right into my blog. So, are you letting this stand in your way? But then down here in my blog, I'm going to go down to the bottom. People that come here can come in and they can subscribe to my blog. So when I say I'm getting leads, that's new subscribers that are coming in, entering their name, typing in their email address, and clicking this button. And I get 2 to 3 of those every single day on average. So that's, to me, that's great. It keeps going up too. The more blog content that I put out there that people are interested in, I get more and more leads. And a lead, we've done some hangouts on this before, but a lead is a way for you to start advertising and sharing things with that person and potentially making a sale in whatever business that you're in. Okay, so this is an example of the blog. So let me go back now to my PowerPoint. So how do you start a good one? That's really the question. So now you're convinced, okay, I need to blog. It's going to be my hub. How do you make it a good one? Well, really simple. I'm going to make it as simple as I possibly can. Number one, you need to base it on your passions. Don't just blog because you want to make money. That's a horrible reason to start a business, for that matter, and it's a horrible reason to start a blog, Because the truth of the matter is if you are just doing something for the money, then you probably aren't passionate about it. And even though money can be great, and obviously we all need it in order to do things in our life, if you're not happy and you're doing something just for the money, you're going to fail. After a while, you're going to get burnt out. It won't take long. And you will not be, you may be a rich person, but you will not be happy. Okay. I am all about having both. You should be able to have your cake and eat it too. So you should be happy and wealthy. Don't you agree? Well, I hope so, because that's really what I'm all about. So base it on your passions. If you're not sure what your passions are, write down all the things that you really love, that you feel you're good at, or somebody else has said that you're good at, and it just comes easy to you. And then circle 1 or 2 or 3 that just kind of lights you up when you think about it. And you may have a hobby that you have done for years and years that you just know a lot about. And people out there, they would love to hear about that. They would love your tips. It doesn't matter what it is. There is somebody else out there. There's probably a whole bunch of other people out there actually that would love to read about your hobby and how to do it themselves. Okay. So that's the first thing. It's got to be something you're passionate about. The second thing is you have to be consistent. So once you have chosen your passion or passions, it can be more than one. I don't want you to feel like, oh my gosh, I have to write a blog about Star Wars if you also have passions in basket weaving. I mean, who knows? I'm just making stuff up. But you know, if you have a lot of passions, you can actually find a way to incorporate that into one single blog. Or if they don't really go together very well, then you could have multiple blogs, and that's always a possibility. Somebody gave me some wise advice a long time ago, and that was build a specialty store, not a mall. And what they meant by that was don't try to be all things to all people. Choose one thing that you're really good at and really flush that out. Okay. Now, obviously, we are all multifaceted individuals, and sometimes all of our facets of our life makes for one passion. And so that's kind of where I came from with my own blog. Is my one passion is that I want to help and empower women. Okay. I have a lot of different areas that I discuss in my blog, but all of it lead to empowerment of women. Okay, so that's kind of a little background on how to create a good one. So consistency means you absolutely must go in there and actually write a post, ideally every single day when you first get started. If you can do that for 21 days, you're going to have 21 articles, content that are going to help and start driving traffic to you. Okay. Once you've got at least 30 days of good content, if you must, you could break it down to once a week that you actually blog. And then later on, once you've built up a lot of content, and by a lot, I mean over 100 posts, then at that point, if you needed to, you could just do it once a month. Or like what I do is I shoot video a lot. So I may shoot a video and I may not post it into my actual blog hub until later on. So I may shoot a video every single day, but then I do like a summary on my blog once a week or once every couple weeks. So, but consistency is key. You can't just write a blog post and then, you know, be missing in action for a couple months and expect people to come back and actually visit your site on a frequent basis. Okay. And then finally, the third thing, you need to learn how to syndicate. So in order to have a good blog, people have to know about it. It doesn't really matter what the content is. They have to know where to find it. And that's something I teach the folks that are on my team is how do you actually get eyeballs onto your blog? You know, once you're writing and or taking videos or whatever it is that you're going to do with your blog, you have to know how to get people there. And people don't just find you initially. You have to start sharing your content out on the internet. And then you'll start getting a following, and then it starts to snowball, and more people will find you on their own. All right, so now I'm going to flip it over and I'm going to give you some topic and syndication tips. So let me go back here to Google. If we're lucky, and it will flip over here. Okay, here it goes. All right, so what I wanted to show you first is I'm actually going to pull up Google, and I'm going to show you just a really simple way for you to get blog topics. Would you guys like that? I hope so. Okay, so I'm here on Google, and let's say that I am just going to pick something. Okay, let's say that I'm an artist, okay, and I'm interested in writing a blog post about art and maybe painting or something like that. So I might just type in here, let's say oil painting. Okay, so once you type it into Google, here's what I want you to do. I want you to scroll down to the bottom. Do you see down here where it has these different things? Oil paintings for sale. These are different keywords that other people have searched for frequently who have typed in the words oil painting. So oil painting for beginners, oil painting techniques, oil painting versus acrylic, oil painting YouTube, tutorial, basics, supplies. So these are things that people have typed in. So let's say, okay, well, let's check out oil painting for beginners. Okay, so some of them are videos. You can see that there's people that have written or recorded videos. If I scroll down here, check this out. We've got oil painting for beginners, which is actually a topic. This could be a topic for you to do as your blog headline. But I like this one better because it's very short and to the point. Top 10 oil painting tips for beginners. Isn't that a great headline? So you don't want to copy the exact content that about.com did. Obviously, this is from about.com, which is another website. But this is a great headline. So you could go through here and pick out headlines that are obviously getting Google juice, because this is, you know, like the second one down on Google. Everything above this gray line, I don't know if you can see that on your screen. Everything above that is either video or paid advertisement. So these guys up here paid to be up here. Okay, so what I want is actual headlines or topics, web pages that were organically found by Google in the search. So these guys down here were all just randomly found by Google. And so I know that those are hot topics. So I can go down here. Let's see, I would copy that one down. Well, here's a nice one too. How to oil paint 15 steps with pictures. Oil painting for beginners, the guide of the basics. And so you can kind of go through it and you can dig deeper, check it out. Now I've got more great topics down here. So, oh, here's another one, oil painting for beginners supplies. So I click on that. Let's scroll down. Well, here's another great topic that I could use, 11 essential oil painting supplies for beginners. So you're getting some ideas now. Isn't that an easy way to get some ideas that you know are already being liked by Google because they're in the top area? So you could literally write about the same thing. You could even make it, maybe you have more than 11, maybe you have 17 essential oil painting supplies for beginners. So then you could write a blog post about that and just boom, 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 list them all, post that as your blog post. And now you have something that Google's probably going to like because it answers a specific question that people are already searching for on Google. All right, isn't that cool? So yeah, I love that. So what was the other thing I was going to show you? Oh, syndication tips. Okay, so this is just one method, and I have a lot of methods to find great topics, but this should really get you started as a beginner on finding great topics. And you can also look at videos. Like if we go back, there was these videos that were here. You could go through these too. Like let's go to YouTube. I want to dig a little deeper here. Okay, so you can see that we've got this guy, very easy oil painting lessons for beginners. So let's just type into Google oil painting, or like already there, beginners. And now you're going to have some things. These are ads right here. But you can see some of these and how old are they. This was from 2 years ago. This is a video. And this guy, oil painting for the absolute beginner. And look how many views it's had. 153,000 views. And it's still #1 here, other than obviously the ads, for the YouTube search for videos on how to do oil painting. I mean, here's this is from a year. This one even has more, second. Wow, look at this guy. This one is from 7 years ago. It's still #3 up here, and it has 1.6 million views. So you can look at these and say, oh, wow, I can do a better job than this guy. And you could literally record a video, post that to your blog, give it a similar title, both the video and your blog post, and you're going to rank. Now, I am not suggesting that you go out there and just search for things and decide you're going to write about them based on their ranking. What I'm suggesting is that first you know your passion, then you search out there and see what types of topics people are searching for in Google and YouTube based around that passion. And that's going to give you some excellent juice for you to begin writing. So I hope that this has been kind of something good for you guys, because this was huge for me. When I realized this, I started getting a lot more traffic to my blog post because of this. Okay. All right. So now how do you syndicate? So let me go back. I'm going to go to one of my blog posts now. All right. So this is a blog post I wrote today. I already have syndicated it, but I'm going to show you what I do. So I actually went out to a website called Buffer. It's bufferapp.com. Some of you may have heard of this. And I have some other stuff here because I do work for some other people. But you'll see these are all my social media sites that are listed here. So you go into Buffer. There is a free version. I actually have the paid version. That's why I have so many. But I think the free version will let you have like 5 or 6 different accounts that you sync up. And by accounts, I'm talking social media accounts. So you would come in here and you would actually update with your Twitter, your Facebook, Google+, LinkedIn. If you have a Facebook fan page, you could add that too. If you have a Pinterest account, you can add that. So by doing that, what this allows you to do is you can instantly share your blog post with multiple social media sites all at once. And I love this app. There's others out there, like Hootsuite is another one. I don't use that one. I love Buffer better. But I've recently been told, this is just a heads up for somebody that's watching that's on my team, Hootsuite now supports Instagram. I got some note on that. And so I may make the switch to Hootsuite because I do use Instagram quite a bit. But what this is this is a way for you to syndicate. And again, syndication means getting more eyeballs on your blog. So what I do personally is I will go into my blog post, and then Buffer allows me in Google Chrome, which is the browser that I use, to download a little icon for my toolbar up here. I don't know if you guys can see, if it might be small on your screen, but I have a little icon in the upper right of my page that any page that I go to within Google Chrome, it has that little icon there. All I got to do is click on that. I'm going to do that so you can see what it does. Okay, so check this out. So what it did while I was on my blog post page, and I clicked on that, it pulled up this little window. In this window, it automatically pulls the headline from my blog, and it assigns my blog a specific link so that it can track how many people are coming from Twitter versus LinkedIn versus Google+. And then I can add this to the queue in Buffer, which will automatically post this to the various social media sites whenever they have the most traffic. You guys get that? So if I want a lot of people to see my stuff, I want to get it out there when the most people are online on those social media sites. So this is an excellent way for you to instantly, without having to go to every single one of your social media sites, this is an excellent way for you to instantly start driving traffic. Okay. One of the other ways to drive traffic is through your own Facebook site. You can go out there and search for groups that are related to your topic. So let's do that. So let's go to my Facebook. And it may take a little while here because I've got so many windows and tabs open. But when it opens up, what I'm suggesting is that you go out and do a search for different groups that make sense for you. So if you're doing oil painting, I really wish it would come up here. Here it goes, I think. Okay, so if I am an oil painter and I would like to find other painters or groups that are out there, I can come in here and I can type in oil painting in the search bar in Facebook. Nope, it wasn't fully loaded. It's called Murphy's Law. When you're on a Hangout, the internet slows down, I think. But anyhow, I may or may not be able to show this to you depending on internet speed right now. But I will tell you that you do have the capability to do a search on Facebook for whatever topic and look for groups that are out there that are based around that topic. And then it'll actually tell you how many members are in that group. My recommendation, hopefully I haven't lost internet with you guys. It's not working. Okay, we're going to flip it around. My recommendation to you guys is that you go ahead and look for groups that have over 1,000 members. You know, the more the merrier, right? You don't want a group that has like 10 members because that's not going to get you any juice. But what you're going to do is find those that have over 1,000 members that if you're an oil painter and you want to do that as your blog topic, then you would look for folks that are involved in oil painting or have some kind of a group. And then when you write a new blog post that's providing pure value, not selling them anything, just pure value, go out to that group on Facebook and actually post something there onto that group page. So this is something, if you are really interested in it, let me know and I'd be happy to do a training because this is a huge boon for those of you that are trying to get more comments, more likes, more traffic to your blog. You can do it very easily by syndicating in that way. So I think I've covered all the topics. I covered some of the best practices. Well, maybe I haven't covered all of them. I'll give you just a few more tips. I got 5 minutes. So I'm going to give you a few more tips just as a bonus to you on blogging. So as you start blogging, first of all, try to keep things simple. Don't try to cover multiple topics in a single post. Really stay on topic. So choose, one thing based on your search on Google that I just showed you how to do. Choose one thing and then focus on that. If you have other topics, then what you're going to want to do is, just write other blog posts. Okay. When you stay on topic, the other thing that I suggest is your headline. You want to have a really enticing headline that makes people want to read your blog post. I will suggest to you that how-tos work really well. A lot of people want to look that up. I need to get a drink of water really quick here. So a lot of people want to look up how-tos, reviews. Let's go back to oil painting. Maybe you have a specific paint or certain brushes that have been really great for you. Write a review on it. And others that are interested in buying a new brush or buying new paints would be interested in reading that. Videos, if you can incorporate video, a quick how-to again is good with a video, sometimes better than text. The other thing that works is not only reviews, but telling stories, telling a story about maybe something that happened to you and how you solved a problem, because there may be other people out there that have that problem and they want an answer, and all of a sudden they stumble across your blog and they become a regular follower because you help them solve that problem. If you are a traveler, maybe you are a traveling painter, you might share some of your favorite places to travel to. Travel blogs are hot. A lot of people love to research places to travel and things to do. And if you happen to be one of those who's recently traveled, be sure to blog about it, get it out there, and hit some of the highlights so that others who are interested in going there would be interested in following you and seeing what you did. So the other part of it is when you are writing, don't feel like you have to write an entire novel on your blog. I think that that's one of the biggest mistakes that a lot of experts tell us to do, that we need to write like 1,000 words before it's a good blog post. Don't feel that way. I have some really short blog posts, and by short, I mean a couple sentences and then a video that are getting tremendous amounts of traffic. So you do not have to have a lot of words, but it does have to be good content. You know, make it something worthwhile that they might be interested in. Don't just slap a sentence down and it not really mean anything. Okay. Let's see what else. Pictures. Pictures speak 1,000 words. If you blog, try to always include at least one picture. I have some resources I've actually shared on other Down and Dirty Hangouts on where you can get great pictures. Do not just pull them from Google. I know you can go out on Google and do a search for pictures, and then you can find a whole bunch. If you use somebody's picture that is copyrighted, and they will find it, there are some of the larger companies out there, they have people, lawyers, that search for people that are illegally using their photos. You could get a lawsuit. So do not use photos that you don't have the rights to use. And again, I have a training on where to find royalty-free photos that don't even cost a thing that you can use onto your blog. So I hope this has been helpful. We're going to go ahead and close since it's already 2:30, so we've been at it here an hour. I hope you got great value. If you did, go ahead and comment below. If you have other tips, I'd love to hear them. Share them with me or reply to my email. If we aren't friends on Facebook, go ahead and reach out to me. It's Vishawn Borich. You'll see that around here. And there's also a link on my homepage. If you click on the homepage and you scroll down, you'll see all the links to my social media sites. So make it a great day. We'll see you next week on the Down and Dirty at 1:30 Central. Take care.